guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pika and I do fragrance reviews. So welcome back everybody. I have a male fragrance video today which I thought I would never do, specifically because I don't own male fragrances, of course. I'd love to have the confidence to pull off a lot of male targeted fragrances, but at the moment I don't. But that doesn't mean that I don't love them equally as much. And in today's video it's going to be specifically a Xerjoff video. So I made a woman's, I wouldn't say buying guide, because honestly, as I said in the video, just because a fragrance reviewer tells you to buy a certain fragrance, please don't do it. Please sample first. Don't go out on a whim, because that way you might regret it. So as I said, because I don't own any male fragrance bottles, I have samples instead, and I've known the house of Xerjoff for a little while now. I've smelled most of the fragrances from the house, so I have a really good idea of which fragrances I like on a guy, which fragrances I don't. I do recommend a lot of fragrances to a lot of my friends. I've bought bottles for previous boyfriends, previous male friends as well, so it's something that I'm definitely experienced in. So the way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to rank my least favorite to my most favorite Xerjoff male fragrances. When I say least to most, all of these fragrances are my top in the Xerjoff line. Most of these come from either the Shooting Stars collection or the Join the Club collection. I'm a really big fan of the Oud Stars line, just because it's quite like really high-pitched, sour, musky to me. Sometimes it just doesn't work well on my skin. So I hope you guys will love this video, and we'll go ahead with the first fragrance. So the first fragrance that I have is called Neo, and this one is semi-popular on fragrance YouTube, and for a really good reason. This is an aromatic citrus scent, but it's really special. It's not as sharp as fragrances like Colbert. I'm not a really big fan of that fragrance, or Ozil. Both of them can come across really sharp to me, whereas this one has just a really nice soft greenness, a little bit of a pininess. It definitely has notes like neroli, bergamot. It's really beautiful, very citrusy, quite green, quite aromatic. This is perfect for the summer, or to be fair, any weather. If you just want to smell really classy and fresh as a man, I would highly suggest this. As I said, it does have a bit of a green touch to it, so beware of that. I know some people don't like green fragrances, and the main reason because they find them grassy or piney, and it just doesn't work well on your skin. So please sample this first. I think I got this from Fragrance Samples UK, and I mean, they don't even know me at all. I just buy fragrances, their samples on their website. So if you've ever been after a sample of Neo, I would highly recommend it, and this one is the first one. So the next fragrance that I have is called Modoc, and this is also from the Shooting Stars collection. And this fragrance right here is absolutely underrated. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this fragrance, which is a massive shame. I think on a guy it would smell absolutely incredible, and it's very unique, and I'll tell you the reason why. So I'm just going to spray it here just to... Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is a really heavy iris-based fragrance, and I know some guys absolutely love iris. Some people don't really like iris on a guy. It can go in many different shapes and forms. It can be quite creamy, it can be quite leathery and quite buttery. It can also go into the powdery lipstick kind of vibe. This one has more of a buttery, almost leathery kind of feel to it, which is something that I really like on a guy. I think it can make a guy smell very put together, quite elegant as well. On top of that, it also has vetiver. The vetiver gives this really dry, hay-like quality to the fragrance, which I think is incredible. It also has a lot of sweetness, which for the life of me, I really don't know where it's coming from. And I tried this on my skin, and it kind of smells a bit like brown sugar, like earthy, powdery brown sugar, which is really quite cool actually, especially if you want to smell a bit more unique as a man. So the next fragrance that I have is called Esquel, and this one again is from the Shooting Stars collection, and this one has been around for quite some time. I think it was launched originally in 2009, which is quite a long time ago now if you really think about it, because there are more current fragrances, but this one doesn't really get talked about that much, which is a massive shame. So I'm just going to spray it here. Oh, this one is really lovely. I forgot how nice this one is. So this is a really interesting fragrance. It has a really beautiful balance to it. It's both aromatic, slightly spicy, and also quite rich at the same time. It has this really beautiful sweetness just towards the base, which I think is coming from a popanox or some resins. It's also quite aromatic as well because it has a lavender note, which kind of makes it a little bit soapy, a little bit more aromatic, that typical lavender touch when it comes to male fragrances. It also has cinnamon as well, which is what sets this fragrance apart from the other ones. It kind of has this really beautiful gourmand spicy touch to it. It does remind me a little bit of like a greener, more aromatic version of Myrrh Imperial from Armani. So I absolutely adore this fragrance. I think it's super underrated. Men need to try this one for sure. I think I would absolutely love smelling this on a guy. And again, it's a very unique fragrance, so why not try it? Very well balanced as well. So I think most of you guys out there would really, really enjoy it. The next one that I have is called Richwood, and this one is a little bit more popular in the world of fragrances, especially with guys as well. Guys seem to really love this fragrance. The only issue is this bottle is very, very expensive. I think usually Richwood retails for somewhere around about £400. So this is definitely more of an investment fragrance. This is for maybe a special occasion. If you want to smell mature, elegant as a guy, I think this one is absolutely stunning. So this is a little bit deceiving. In the name, obviously, it does have Richwood. But this to me is a really classic chypre fragrance or sheep fragrance. So it has citruses at the top, labdanum, and it also has patchouli, other mossy notes as well. This one is very reminiscent of Coromandel. It has a really beautiful patchouli note. It's quite damp, it's quite rich. It also has sandalwood as well, which gives it a really beautiful creaminess and sweetness. Overall, this is an absolutely incredible fragrance. As I said, definitely more mature on the elegant side. It does have that normal sheep kind of quality to it. So if you guys are not into chypre fragrances, I would not recommend this because it does go into that mossy kind of territory, that damp, deep earthiness. So totally up to you guys. Would not blind buy this one because it's very bloody expensive, and yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So that is Richwood by Xerjoff. The next fragrance I have is called Alexandria II, and you guys know this one very well. This one is very hyped in the fragrance community. Lots of guys love to wear this. Equally, women love to wear this one as well. But to me, this is definitely more masculine leaning. It has a really big note of lavender. It has oud, it has rosewood. So overall, it's definitely more of a woody fragrance. But what I find really intriguing about this one in particular is that the lavender note is very calming, of course. It's quite romantic, really great on guys. I think lavender is pulled much better on guy skin compared to women's skin for sure. But this one definitely goes into a really nice chocolatey kind of realm. Have no clue where that's coming from. Maybe the combination of woods and the oud with some sweetness. It's really, really beautiful. So this is definitely a woody fragrance. It's also really expensive, but I say that, but on All Beauty, I think it's discounted at the moment. So if you have ever wanted to buy the bottle, of course, sample first, I would suggest that you buy it from All Beauty because you do get some really amazing discounts on there. So that is Alexandria II. I think this is from the Oud Stars collection. The next fragrance that I have is called 40 Knots, and this is from the JTC or the Join the Club collection. And this one again is a little bit popular on fragrance YouTube, in particular, especially male fragrance reviews. They absolutely love this. and I totally see why. This is really, to me, reminiscent of Ambre Nuit. When I first sampled this some time ago, I was actually so shocked to see how similar it was to Ambre Nuit by Christian Dior. When I first sprayed it, I was kind of expecting something very different, but then as soon as I had it on my skin, I was like, gosh, that smells so familiar. And for the life of me, I didn't know how or where I was getting that familiarity from. But it is definitely very close to Ambre Nuit. I'm just going to spray this one in the air again. Oh, this one is gorgeous. This one is, oh God, would I love to smell this on a guy. This one kind of starts off with a bit of a spicy opening. Have no idea where that's coming from. Kind of like a pink pepper or a black pepper, something like that in the very beginning. And then towards the mid, you definitely get this really rich sweetness, lots of marine, aquatic kind of notes. So for me, I definitely get ambergris for sure. I also get a bit of citruses as well. So if you can imagine a combination of spice, aquaticness, and also sweetness all together, that's what I get from this fragrance. Absolutely stunning. This is a signature scent worthy. You can spray it any season, any occasion. I think this one is definitely, well, this one is in my top 2 for a very good reason. I think if you've never tried it before, you should most definitely give it a go. So that is 40 knots from the Join the Club collection. Last but certainly not least, we have my favorite fragrance out of all of the Xerjoff male-based fragrances, and this one is called Dophar. And this is from the Shooting Stars collection. This, I think, launched again long time ago now, probably around 2009. This is one of the most well-balanced Xerjoff fragrances to me of all time. This is a really beautiful aromatic fragrance. I'm just going to... Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It really has a really beautiful blend of lots of different notes. As I said, it has like this really beautiful aromaticness to it. It has pine, it has green notes. It also has a bit of a citrus touch to it as well. It might have grapefruit or bergamot. And then towards the mid and base of this fragrance, what I found really quite amazing is it does have a bit of a marine touch. Have no idea where that's coming from. Maybe it's just on my skin. Could be coming from ambergris. I have no clue. But overall, I would say this one is the most elegant out of all of the Xerjoff male fragrances. It's just that typical masculine, aromatic, slightly marine-like quality to it. So for me, it's the perfect male fragrance. It is slightly sharp in the very beginning with the citruses, so maybe that might put you off, as well as the green notes. But for me personally, especially when it comes to male fragrances, I've always preferred green and citrus-based fragrances. So if you guys are into that, I would 100% recommend that you sample it. Yeah, it's stunning. It's called Dophar, and it's from the Shooting Stars collection. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe because it does really help with the channel. I know I say this a lot, but the likes really do help. Hopefully in the future I'll be doing more male-based fragrance videos. I most likely will be doing a classy male fragrance video with designer picks and then more on the niche side as well. So I really hope that you enjoy this video. I shall catch you in my next one. Bye guys.